At 6:30 a.m. on the first day of December in 1948, a man was found dead on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, South Australia. He was lying against a seawall, legs outstretched, head propped slightly to the side, as if he dozed off under the rising sun. He had no wallet, no ID, no signs of violence. He was dressed in a crisp suit with polished shoes and neatly pressed trousers. But every label on his clothing had been cut off. In his pocket was a tiny rolled-up scrap of paper bearing just two words, Tamam Shud. The phrase means it is finished. And for more than 70 years, no one has been able to explain who he was, how he died, or why he carried a code that no expert has ever been able to decipher. This is the chilling case of the Somerton Man, the body on the beach, and the code that still haunts Australia. It was a peaceful Wednesday morning in Glenelg, a seaside suburb of Adelaide. A married couple out for an early walk spotted what looked like a sleeping man, half reclining against a seawall. But as they approached, something felt off. He wasn't breathing. His skin was cold. His pupils were dilated. The man was dead. Police arrived quickly. They searched his pockets, a bus ticket, an unused train ticket, chewing gum, a box of cigarettes, and a pack of matches. Nothing unusual, nothing illegal. But there was no ID, no wallet, no hat, despite being fully dressed in a formal suit and tie. The strangest part? Every single label had been cut off his clothing. Even his socks and underwear bore no brand or size. The man had no external injuries. An autopsy revealed no signs of trauma, no broken bones, no bruises, and no trace of poison. The medical examiner was baffled. It was as if he simply stopped living. His face was photographed. His fingerprints were taken and run through Australian, British, and American records. But no match came back. He was a ghost. He quickly became known in the press as the Somerton Man. Days after the discovery, police received a promising lead. A train station official reported that an unclaimed suitcase had been left in the Adelaide Railway cloakroom. On November 30th, the day before the man was found dead, inside the suitcase, a shaving kit, a screwdriver, scissors, a pair of slippers, and some neatly folded clothing. One item had a name stitched into it, T. Keane, but further digging revealed no missing persons named T. Keane, and oddly, even this label appeared to have been sewn in deliberately, as if it was meant to throw investigators off. The clothes in the suitcase matched the type and size of those worn by the Somerton Man. Police believed it was his, but that didn't get them any closer to figuring out who he actually was. Then weeks later came the biggest break of all. A small secret pocket was found sewn into the man's pants. Inside, tightly rolled and nearly invisible to the naked eye, was a tiny slip of paper. On it, printed in ornate Persian-style font, were the words, Tamam Shud. Detectives eventually traced the phrase to the final page of an ancient collection of poems known as the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. The phrase roughly translates to, "It is ended," or "It is finished." A poetic and chilling final message. But the question remained, where was the book it came from? The breakthrough came in a way no one expected. A man walked into a police station and claimed that he'd found a book in the back seat of his unlocked car, which had been parked near the beach on the day the body was found. The book? A rare edition of the Rubaiyat, missing its final page. The torn portion matched the scrap of paper found in the Somerton Man's pocket. But that wasn't all. Inside the book were two major clues. First, a telephone number, handwritten in pencil. It belonged to a woman named Jestin, a young nurse living in Glenelg, just 5 minutes from where the man's body had been found. Second, scribbled faintly on the back page of the book, was a series of letters that looked like complete nonsense. The WRGOABABD, MLIAOI, WTBSI, MTBIMP, ITTMTSAMSTGAB. It appeared to be a code. Cryptographers from the military and Navy tried to crack it. Linguists analyzed letter frequency, but no one could make sense of it. It wasn't a cipher they recognized. Was it a spy's message? A poem? A set of instructions? Or simply gibberish? No one could say. The deeper the police dug, the stranger things became. When investigators visited Jestin, whose real name was Joe Thompson, they noticed her immediate reaction to a plaster bust of the Somerton Man. She went pale. Though she denied recognizing him, her behavior told another story. She was evasive, nervous, and when shown the man's belongings, she refused to speak further. Joe admitted that she had once owned a copy of the Rubaiyat and had gifted it to a man she referred to only as a friend. That friend, she said, was long gone. Joe was never charged, but suspicions around her never went away. Some believed the Somerton Man was in love with her. Others thought he was the father of her child. One detail added fuel to the fire. Joe's young son, Robin, had striking similarities to the unidentified man, including a rare ear shape and dental structure found in less than 1% of the population. But no DNA test was available back then, and without evidence, the case once again faded into silence. For decades, the Somerton Man remained nameless. Countless amateur sleuths, authors, and cold case detectives tried to solve the riddle, but all efforts stalled until recently. In 2022, Professor Derek Abbott, a physicist and electrical engineer at the University of Adelaide, worked with genetic researchers to extract mitochondrial DNA from hair preserved during the original autopsy. Using advanced forensic genealogy, the same method that cracked the Golden State Killer case, researchers built a family tree and narrowed it down. And for the first time in over 70 years, the Somerton Man had a name. Carl Charles Webb, born in 1905 in Melbourne, an electrical engineer and instrument maker. He'd never been reported missing. He left no will, no known children, but DNA matched distant relatives. His life story is still being pieced together. But this discovery, at long last, gave a name to the nameless. Even with a name, mysteries remain. Why were his clothing labels removed? Why was there no ID? And what about the book and the code? Some believe Carl Webb was a Cold War courier, a man who carried information, possibly encrypted, and was silenced before he could deliver it. Others believe he may have taken his own life heartbroken after a relationship ended, possibly involving Joe. And then there's the theory that someone else left him there, precisely positioned, message in pocket, a warning to others. Tamam Shud, it is finished. But who sent the message? And to whom? Over 70 years after he was found on the beach, we finally have a name. But many believe the code has still not been solved, and in a world of secrets, maybe some truths are never meant to surface. Let us know in the comments. Do you believe Carl Webb was a spy, a heartbroken lover, or something else entirely? If this mystery fascinated you, subscribe for more unsolved stories from the shadows. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.